purpose, accompanied by a definite plan for its attainment, followed by an appropriate action. That means plan, purpose, and action. Those three words constitute the first factor. Now, there has never been known to be a success in any calling except as the result of definiteness of purpose. Now, we all have purposes, varying purposes, but they're not definite. Most often they are hopes and wishes. We all wish for money, we wish for opportunity, we wish for love and affection, we wish for recognition, we wish for a lot of things. But wishing is not just quite enough. Before you can be sure of success, you have to have a definite objective, a definite plan for getting it, and you have to back that plan with everything you have. And you have to treat your mind constantly until the subconscious section of the mind picks up your plan and finds out what it is that you want. The second premise is that all individual achievements are the results of a motive or a combination of motives. Now, you never heard of anybody accomplishing anything in this world or doing anything except as the result of a motive. All sane people move as the result of motives, and there are 9 basic motives under which you can classify every impulse that you have to do or not to do throughout life. And here they are. Number 1 is the emotion of love. Number 2 is the emotion of sex. And number 3 is the desire for material wealth. Now, these are known as the big 3. And it has been said that these 3 emotions practically govern the entire world. And I don't think that's an overstatement of the truth by any means. Number 4 is the desire for self-preservation. Number 5 is the desire for freedom of body and mind. And number 6 is the desire for personal expression and recognition. That's an outstanding motive, the desire for personal recognition and expression. And number 7, the desire for perpetuation of life after death. Now, those are the 7 positives, and here come the 2 negatives that influence your lives very often more than the positives, the ones that you have to look out for. Number 8 is the desire for revenge. You would be surprised at how much of one's life is devoted to wanting to strike back at somebody for some imaginary or real grievance. And yet all such effort is destructive. And number 9 is the grandfather of them all. Guess what that is? Probably influences more human action than all other motives combined, and yet the most destructive of them all. Number 9 is the emotion of fear. And under that heading, there are 7 basic fears, 7 things that you have to be on the lookout for constantly, all the way through life. Number 1 is the fear of poverty. Now, why anybody should be afraid of poverty in a great nation like this, where opportunity abounds on every hand, is more than I can understand. But I do know that the vast majority of my students have to be treated first for the fear of poverty. They have to be made success conscious, and you'll never be successful in anything until you do become success conscious. You'll have to get over that idea of self-limitation. And the second of the 7 basic fears is the fear of criticism. You're lucky indeed if you come this far in life, all of you or any of you, without having suffered from the fear of criticism. The fear of what they'll say. Now, I have heard so many people say, well, I'd do so-and-so if it weren't for what they will say, and I have never yet found out who they were. They are entirely imaginary beings, yet you'd be surprised how powerful they are. They stupefy enthusiasm, they cut down your personal initiative, they destroy your imagination, and they make it practically impossible for you to accomplish anything above mediocrity. Number 4 is the fear of ill health. The doctors know too well what that fear does. It results in a condition known as hypochondria, or imaginary illness. And number 5 is the fear of the loss of love of someone, upon which all of that form of dementia praecox known as jealousy is based. Jealousy doesn't require a reason. It can be just as violent and just as destructive where there is no basis for it as where there is a basis. But it is a motivating force and a fear, one of the 7 basic fears. Number 6 is the fear of old age. I don't know why men and women should be afraid that they're going to dry up and blow away when they get to that nice ripe old age of 40 to 50. The real achievements of the world were the results of men and women who had gone well beyond the age of 50, and the greatest age of achievement was between 65 and 75. So I don't know why one should be afraid of old age. but nevertheless they are. And the last and the grandfather of them all is the fear of death. It's the rarest thing in the world to find a person who hasn't at one time or other been afraid of dying. Now, this course and this philosophy, before you finish with it, will, I hope, prepare you to eliminate all of those 7 basic fears, particularly the last one. Now, the third premise is that any dominating idea, plan, or purpose which you hold in your mind through repetition of thought and which is emotionalized with a burning desire for its realization is taken over by the subconscious section of the mind and acted upon through whatever natural and logical means that may be available. In the slang of the day, there is a mouthful in that sentence. Any dominating idea, plan, or purpose held in the mind through repetition of thought and which is emotionalized with a burning desire for its realization is taken over by the subconscious section of the mind and acted upon through whatever natural and logical means that may be available. Now, the key ideas in that sentence is natural and logical means and a burning desire. Well, a burning desire is a desire which prompts you to be willing to give anything in the world, whatever the price may be, in order to attain the object of that desire. A burning desire is one that you take to bed with you at night, you give it over to your subconscious mind at night, you get up with it in the morning, you eat with it, you sleep with it, you first get it, and then it gets you. Now, that's what a burning desire is. You may have to talk about it. You may have to think about it. However, when it comes to talking about it, be careful where you talk, because you may become boresome to somebody. Now, some of these things that I'm going to tell you about may seem fantastic. Some of them you may never have done before. Don't just take a part of this philosophy and apply it. Take it just as I give it to you, and no matter how foolish it may seem to you or to those around you at the beginning, follow it to the letter. The fourth premise is that any dominating desire, plan, or purpose which is backed by that state of mind known as faith is taken over by the subconscious section of the mind and acted upon almost immediately. The fifth premise, the power of thought is the only thing over which any human being has complete, unquestionable control. A fact so astounding that it connotes a close relationship between the mind of man and infinite intelligence. The very fact that the Creator gave man control over only one thing, it was intended that that one thing should be sufficient for the man's needs. And believe you me, it is sufficient if you use it properly. There isn't anything you can't achieve which you can conceive and believe. If you can conceive an idea, a plan, or a purpose and believe that you can achieve it, you can find out ways and means of doing it. But you have to be definite about it. You have to be specific. You have to know what it is you want. You have to know why you want it. And you have to make up your mind what you're going to give in return for it, because nature frowns upon the idea of something for nothing. And the sixth premise, the subconscious section of the mind appears to be the only doorway of individual approach to infinite intelligence. The basis of the approach is faith, based upon definiteness of purpose. Any idea, plan, or purpose held in the mind in a spirit of faith begins almost immediately to reveal to you ways and means of carrying out that idea. The seventh principle, every brain is both a broadcasting set and a receiving station for the vibrations of thought, a fact which explains the importance of moving with definiteness of purpose instead of drifting, since the brain may be so thoroughly charged with the nature of one's purpose that it will begin to attract the physical or material equivalents of that purpose. That's an astounding thing, ladies and gentlemen, all the more so because it is a provable fact. That is to say that the first broadcasting and receiving set ever built was the brain of man. And whether you recognize it or not, you're constantly tuning in on the vibrations of other people, especially the people with whom you are in harmony. I mean, where your thoughts and their thoughts agree. If your thoughts happen to be of poverty, of failure, of illness, why, you'll tune in the thoughts of all other people who are releasing similar thoughts. If your thoughts are dominating the controlled by thoughts of success and riches, opulence, you'll be tuning in on the thoughts of all other people who think along those lines. There will be times when ideas will flash into your mind that are so negative that they almost scare you. You wonder where they came from. You wonder why your mind would hand over to you such destructive thoughts. And if the truth were known, you are just, you've left your receiving set open. You've tuned in on the wrong type of minds. This philosophy is designed to keep your receiving set closed to all except the kind of minds that you want, and those are positive minds. Minds that think in terms of what you want instead of what you don't want. I think one of the strangest things in life consists in this, that most people go all the way through life, regardless of their education or their standing or their opportunity. They go all the way through life